Hello everyone, Ryan here. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've made a video, but I finally have some good ideas on what to do for videos. So what I'm intending to do with this mini series, well, it's the start of the month, new idea. Oh, pretty good. So what I intend to do for this mini series is to do a spin-off on the practical guide. Based on the feedback that I've gotten from majority of the community so far, that guide seems to have been helpful to a lot of players. So I'm hoping that this spin-off is going to achieve the same effect. I haven't thought of a name for this series, but if that was a practical guide, then I'll call this a practical legend. Yeah, a practical legend. So what do I intend to do for this mini-series? Well, this series is targeted for players who are already in Legends League. Maybe you've just entered into Legends, you are able to get past that yo-yo stage and hold your position in Legends. Or maybe you are in the yo-yo stage and you are thinking about what's next in order to hold your rank in Legends. Then I think this series would be useful for you. So yeah, let's get started with the first episode. Now, before we proceed, if you find the content helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. It would greatly help out the channel. As most of you know, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs at the moment, so any bit of support would help. Now, if you wish to support the channel even further, then there is a creator code. I have gotten a creator code from the Nexus and Tech Tree Games. So my creator code is ryanthetower. I will put the description. I'll put it in the description. So if you wish to spend money on the game, I would greatly appreciate if you supported my channel as well. So let's get started. Alright, so first off, disclaimer, I'm currently a Legends player, but I don't necessarily rank the best in Legends. So currently I'm around the 2700, just under 2800 for my PB in Legends, and I've gotten rank 1 finishes a few times, but I'm not by any means like at the top. As you can see, my tournament history performance, it's nothing to show off about, right? So I'm not targeting the player base that is above me. In fact, I'm actively learning from those players as well. But for players who just entered into Legends and to the point where you start earning your keys and so on, I think this is the main target audience of this guide. That being said, as with everything that I have done in the past, take what I say with a pinch of salt. Ultimately, you should play the game the way you like it. And so if anything I say is incongruent with what you think is best for your tower, well, you know your tower the best, so please go ahead with whatever you think is best for your tower. So episode 1. Now, I think the main thing that we have to talk about in tournaments is the heat and battle conditions for the tournaments. Now, we can't really see it over here, but when you are in a tournament, there would be this button over here, and there will be like the heat battle condition over here, and if you clicked into it, there would be a lot of different battle conditions, and every tournament has this battle conditions, but I think the most important battle condition that we have to worry about is the enemy level skip battle condition. Now, this is a farming run in tier 17, and as you can see, my enemy attack and health level skip chances are subtracted by 8%. In Legends tournament, this base number is subtracted by 50%, and that is the main difficulty for ranking up or getting high waves in Legends. So why is that the case? So I think this first episode is just to understand what ELS actually does and what we can take away from having ELS. So ELS, or enemy level skips, there's two types. There's attack and health level skips. For all intents and purposes, most people, by the time you get to where I'm at, we don't really care too much about the attack level skip number. I mean, having some is good, but we care a lot about this health level skip. Now, the reason for that is because once you get into Legends, it's very difficult to face tank any enemies beyond, say, wave like 800 or so. Even if you had a very strong EHP build, the attack numbers of enemies are just going to be too high that you can't realistically tank the enemies for a very long period of time. So what a lot of people would end up doing is, at some point, when you are ready to make the transition into Legends, you should hopefully be at a point in your tower journey where you are gearing towards a glass cannon strategy. And with glass cannon strategies, you just want to kill the enemies as quickly as possible. So when you kill the enemies as quickly as possible, then it doesn't matter what their damage is, because the goal is not to get them to hit you and die to taunts, right? The goal is for you to kill them before they hit you. So we really care about not getting this number up too high, okay? And so that's the main thing that level skips does. Every time I skip an attack level, this number does not go higher. Okay? And every time I skip a health level, this health number does not go higher. Now, as you can see, we have a damage. We have tower damage, right? So this tower damage number, as you can see, it's in T, right? This is orders of magnitude less than this number, which is at N. But through all our different damage multipliers that we stack on, like our amplify board, like our ultimate weapons, and so on, we are able to kill the enemies a lot, even though they have a lot more health than us. However, it will get to a point where we are no longer able to do that, right? And when that happens, then the usual thing happens. The bosses start hitting you because they don't die to your orbs, and then eventually you're just going to run out of energy shield charges, and then you die. So what we really want to focus on is this health level skip number. Now, the problem is that when you enter into Legends, there is a 50% penalty to level skips, which means that if, let's say, you are at 54% of level skip, which is a pretty decent amount, you're essentially only having 4% of level skips. And we all know that those level skip enhancements cost a bomb. So reasonably, you're not going to get many level skips unless you get this lab, which is the battle condition reduction lab. This lab unlocks at tier 18 wave 1000, and so I think the first thing, like from a practical perspective, if you had to make a decision between, do I want to go for more Econ or do I want to go for more tournament performance, then the question that you should ask yourself is, can I get this lab unlocked? Now, if the answer to that question is no, it means that you cannot clear tier 18 wave 1000. That happens because you do not have enough masteries. So your damage masteries are not good enough yet. Now, then the question that you have to ask yourself is it an econ issue? Do you not have enough economy to sustain the masteries? Or is it just that you haven't unlocked the masteries and so on? Now, if you have the econ but you haven't unlocked the masteries, that's very, very unlikely. Most likely it's you have the mastery but you don't have the econ to sustain pumping up that mastery numbers. So if that is the case, then your focus should be on econ so that you can get the labs done, so that you can get to wave 1000 in tier 18, and then you can unlock this lab. Now, this lab costs quite a bit to level up, but it is very worth it. What it does at max level is it reduces the effect of all battle conditions by 20%. No, not all. Majority of battle conditions by 20%. For instance, ultimate weapon duration battle condition is not affected, if I remember correctly. But with this 20% damage reduction or battle condition reduction, essentially when we get to our Legends tournament, this level skip percentage is no longer going to be reduced by 50%, but instead reduced by 40%. And 10% ELS is a huge amount of difference. So just to give you guys some perspective, currently my ELS is at 71.5%. When my ELS was 61.5%, I was not able to clear tier 16 with 5,000. I was not even able to hit 5,000 waves. Between then and now, that extra 10% has gotten me about 3,000 plus more waves in tier 16, and it has allowed me to farm tier 17 up to 6,500 waves. So that's the importance of that 10% ELS. And in Legends tournaments, I guess this would translate to something along the lines of at least 1,000 waves. So I had the fortune of having one of the top players, Greenie, so shout out to Greenie, who was in my tournament stream I think a few days ago, and he was at a very similar wave count to me. And when he told me his health numbers for the enemies compared to mine, his was a lot lower than mine. By the time I died, my enemy health was about 600 times higher than his. And that was the effect of about 12% of ELS difference between the two of us. I'm sitting at 71%, he was sitting at about 83%. So the first thing is, how do we get more waves in Legends? Well, we can either choose to pump up this number over here, or we can choose to reduce the rate at which this number goes up. And for all intents and purposes, this number is going to go up a lot faster than this number can, and this number has a cap on it, because at some point we hit our max damage. So the best way to rank up in terms of your overall wave count is to reduce the speed at which this number goes up, so that you can get more waves before you hit a highest possible number over here, such that this number is no longer able to kill the enemies who have this amount of health, if that makes sense to you guys. And so that is the importance of ELS. Right, so I think that is a good introduction to the series. What I hope to do in the upcoming episodes of this series is to go over each of the different battle conditions and talk about various strategies that you can adopt, and also talk about the module combinations and so on that I have tested, and the pros and cons of using a specific module. So I hope you found the content useful. If you did, don't forget, hit the like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye!